Hi, folks. Thanks for joining. Welcome. We're so happy you're here, especially during the busy back to school season. We'll be getting started in just a moment, but while we're waiting for folks to join, feel free to share in chat your name, your district, and your favorite subject or activity. And yes, lunch does count if you want to use that as the activity in elementary school. And when sharing, please make sure that you select everyone in chat, not just host and panelists. Because Zoom is a little silly. You have to go ahead and click that before sending your message. And we'll get started in just a moment. Alex, now I'm curious, what was your favorite elementary subject or activity?
There, I should unmute myself. So you would think that my favorite subject would be music, right? Because I taught high school band and orchestra, but I actually really loved gym. I think I just had so much energy and I couldn't get out during the day. And I love doing the gymnastics unit. Like we got to do all that. Big fan of the parachute, like jump rope, anything that got me moving, get some energy out. But
oh my gosh, gym was like my nightmare. Aside from the big, like, what did you call that?
The parachute, yeah.
The parachute.
I think that's the technical name for it.
Yes, I'm like, what company? I don't know what company like got a stronghold on the U.S. gym market, but those were everywhere. Oh, that's funny. Welcome, folks. So we have, mine. Oh golly, I would say like art class. I really liked art class. Yeah. And we have, so let's see, I see someone else said gym. Yolanda, welcome. So Alex, you have another gym buddy.
Excellent.
See, Greta likes music. We have a nice mix of different things.
Library time. I did like library time too.
Okay, real talk. That one was good. I had like a fort in my library that like you could climb up and it was like a tree fort and you could go in there and read. And it was like a hot commodity.
Now, I'm not sure if they still do it, but at least back when I was in elementary school, accelerated reader was a big thing. So earning points.
Oh, yeah, no, when I was a teacher, we did accelerated reader. And if students read 1 million words over the course of the year, they got a t-shirt and they got like free lunch. It was like a big situation.
The only reason why I read Little Women in 5th grade was so I could get those 35 points or however many points it was.
Oh, golly.
Because I had to win, I wanted to win that competition.
Oh, that is funny. Welcome, folks. So we have a few more folks joining. We'll get started in about 1 minute. So thank you for joining. And just a reminder, for any questions we ask in chat, just make sure you set it so that everyone can see it. Otherwise, it just goes to Alex and myself. Cindy, I see you love AR. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had a big tracker in my classroom for the number of words that students read. That was very fun.
Got another art. I liked art. I just don't think art liked me. I was not very good at it.
Oh, I wasn't either, but I did have a good time. Like I'm not like my mom kept the things that I made out of like obligation, but they're hidden away somewhere.
Yeah, I needed more Jackson Pollock style projects where like it's just whatever you want, however you want to interpret it.
Oh gosh, that's funny. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining us, folks. Cool. So just a few heads up. This is our webinar on troubleshooting the login tool, and this will be interactive. So we have some demos, we have some polls and questions. So you'll get some practice on using this tool if you haven't already. And one of our most popular questions, we will indeed be recording this session. So we will email it out afterwards so you can access it. And for anyone else who is not here live, they'll be able to access it as well. And we will also be sharing some documentation from our help center as well so that you can access any of the support tools we talked about today. One reminder, we will be using the Q&A feature during the webinar. So we love questions, but please use the Q&A console in Zoom for any questions. If you post them in chat, it's hard for us to catch them, and also other folks might not see it and see the awesome questions you're asking. So just please keep that in mind. And Alex, I'll pass it to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex, and I'm a member of our operations team here at Clever. And what that basically means is that it's my job to ensure that our support team, as well as our customers, have the tools that they need to be successful. You might have heard me mention earlier, I'm a former high school band and orchestra teacher turned techie, and I've been at Clever for about 5 years now supporting our customers.
Alex is my superhero. Like when I was a Clever, when I used Clever as a teacher, I submitted many a support ticket, and the support team was always so supportive. So my name is Blair, and I spent 5 years as a teacher in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and in Washington, D.C. I also was an administrator at a school in Phoenix. So I've been a Clever teacher, I've been a Clever school tech lead, and I've been a Clever district admin. So I know how much time that it can save teachers every day. And if you didn't catch this before, please do use the Q&A box. And this has a little screenshot of where you can go to access that. And a quick agenda today. We are really excited to walk through one of our newer support tools. And this is focused on supporting troubleshooting app login issues. So a relatively common issue, especially as we enter back to school. So we'll start with an overview of the tool and talk a little bit about the inspiration behind the tool and a high-level introduction of its features and the functionality. Then we'll get ready for a demo. So this is a great time for you to walk through the steps as we do it, to see how the tool works. So if you haven't already, please log into your Clever portal now so that you're ready to go for the demo. After that, we will walk through some of our favorite resources in the Help Center that will support your use of the tool. And finally, we will wrap up with our favorite time, which is Q&A. And we will answer some questions live. And just a heads up, if we don't get to your question today, you can always head over to the Help Center and reach out to our support team with any questions that we might not get to today. So to start, we have a poll, and there is no right or wrong answer here, and it is an anonymous poll, but we're just curious how much you know about the school tech lead role. So again, like truly no right or wrong answer, but this will help us as we go through the webinar. Okay, so I'm seeing a fair spread of responses. I'll go ahead and share it out in about 5 seconds. Alrighty, so we have a mix. It looks like we have 3 folks here who are very familiar with the role, so kudos to you. But we also have some folks who are newer to the role, which is great, and we're so excited that you're here. So we'll be sure to share out some resources about the STL role to make sure that you are comfortable and ready to go as we enter the school year.
So today we're talking about logins, and as probably all of you are very aware, login issues are one of the most common problems in a classroom, and the journey to solving them can often be very long for all of you. So there's a long chain of communication. Often it's a student that's having a problem and they tell their teacher, and then they come to you as a school tech lead. Then often you have to go to your district help desk to get it resolved. And by the time that a login issue has reached you or the district, many days have often passed. And not only is it a long chain, but there's often a lot of different factors that can lead. Sorry, everyone, I'm gonna wait for the fire truck to go by.
Alex, I feel like that is like the perfect like sound effect for like how things feel when like app login issues are happening.
It does, and you can even hear my German Shepherd's upset by login issues. She loves to sing with the fire trucks. As we're saying, the login process, troubleshooting can just have to go through a lot of people and take up a lot of time. And even once it does get to the right person, it can be a little difficult to actually figure out what's going on. There are so many different factors that you sometimes need to check to see why a login may not working. So at Clever, we like to ask the question, how can we give you the superpowers to fix issues quickly and easily so that students and teachers never have to lose time in the classroom and can fully engage in their learning? So this long troubleshooting steps that we alluded to, we felt that same pain here at Clever. Before the Troubleshoot Login Tool, one of our most highly utilized resources internally actually was a long checklist of things to review if a login was not working. And now that we have this tool, we are retiring that list and we are using this tool full time ourselves. So with the Troubleshoot Login Tool, which is available to you as well as Clever admins and district help desk users, with this tool, our system analyzes 13 different criteria that we know are necessary for login success in just a few clicks. And so with just a few clicks of a button, selecting the user and the application, we provide a root cause analysis for student and teacher application login errors immediately, reducing, saving time for you and students. One second as it catches up here. We'll see if it starts. But so one of the things that we love about the Troubleshoot Login Tool in general is that it's not only going to analyze what is happening, but it's going to provide easy and clear directions for how to resolve those errors themselves. There we go. So when you actually use this feature, it's going to show you not only what is happening, but how to resolve it. Now, it's important to note that this tool is specifically used to troubleshoot logins from the Clever portal to applications. So it's once a user has logged into Clever. So this tool is not actually cannot be used to identify issues logging into Clever itself. That is a different process that we'll actually cover a little bit after we demo the tool here today. So, but if you do need help in general, regardless if it's into Clever or into an application, know that you can always reach out to Clever or your district support contact, as they have all these tools available to them as well. But a quick tip is that if, though this doesn't address logins to Clever, if you do have an issue, you'll want to reach out to your district help desk or district tech contact in order to get those issues resolved, as generally Clever does not have access to usernames and passwords for students and teachers. So this is a topic that we'll cover a little bit more later, but the main thing to take away here, the Troubleshoot Login Tool is great for troubleshooting logins to applications for once a student is in the Clever portal. So we're excited for you to experience this yourselves, because this tool can save you and your team hours every single day. On average, we have found that troubleshooting a login issue to an application takes anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes. And so when you think about this process now just taking a few seconds with a tool, over the course of a year, this means incredible time savings for you and faster resolution times for your students and teachers. Districts that use this tool have also just reported that they've reduced the number of help desk tickets they've had to submit either internally or to other companies, which means less time for you creating those cases, coming, writing to Clever or a district, and again, just getting students and teachers into their learning faster than ever. So we actually launched this tool right before the beginning of last year, and we have had just tremendous response from the Clever community and have seen a lot of usage. It should pop up here in a second. Sorry, folks, we're lagging just a little bit on the slides here. But at a high level, we've actually seen to date over 90,000 usages of our Troubleshoot Login Tool across over 5,000 districts, which we estimate has saved over 10,000 hours of time. Now, we are about to jump into a demo here from Blair, but I want you to get to experience this tool as well. So if you haven't already done so, I'm going to highly encourage you to log into your Clever portal. If you don't know where that is, just go to clever.com, press log in the top right-hand corner and search for your school, and you should be able to log in using your district username and password. But as a school tech lead, you have access to the Troubleshoot Login Tool right on your dashboard. Now, in order to use this tool, the only thing that you actually need to have is the name of a user as well as an application that they're having troubles logging in with. So if you've already started your school year, go to your email. I'm sure you have at least one email about a student or a teacher having issues logging in. You can use that today to actually demo this on your side as well. So go ahead and pull up your Clever portal if you haven't done so. And we're about to dive into a real example. Now, just want to give you a heads up on a few things that you're going to see when you go into the Troubleshoot Login Tool in this demo. And that is that we have basically two things that we're going to provide to you in this tool. We're going to say how the issue needs to be resolved. So what is the thing causing the problem and how do you resolve it? We're also going to identify who is the party best positioned to help you with actually taking that action. So there are generally three types of results. There are district issues, app issues, and Clever issues. If you have a district issue, this means that the issue can be resolved right at your own school or district by adjusting a setting in Clever or doing something in your Clever dashboard or maybe even your student information system, such as PowerSchool. So we provided a link in we provide a link to your district tech support contact and a description of the issue so that if you do need to tackle something at the district level, that you have the language to work with your district help desk team to get that problem resolved. Now, the more common one that you're probably going to see as a school tech lead is that it's identified as an app issue. And what this means is that our system has determined that all the conditions in order for a login to be successful are being met, and that in order to troubleshoot the issue, we're going to need the assistance of the application support team to do an investigation. So again, we make this really easy for you to communicate. We provide a link to that application support team with a description of the issue, so you can create a case with them really easily. And then, of course, the third part, you're going to talk to us. So if it is deemed as a Clever issue, this means that you can simply click the Contact Clever support button, submit a case to our team, and we're going to help figure out what's going on to get your users logged in. So Blair, can you give us a demo?
I would love to. Also, I was thinking about it, and since so many folks are new to the school tech lead role, I'm just putting in chat a link to our help center that talks a little bit more about the school tech lead role, just in case you're not familiar with it. So if you have never logged into your school tech lead dashboard, this might look new. So feel free to check out the help center article that I shared in case you want a little bit of a walkthrough. And Alex, y'all can see my screen, correct?
We're good.
Awesome sauce. Cool. So this is your school tech lead dashboard. You'll see a lot of features that you can utilize. Today, we're going to talk about the Troubleshoot Login Tool, of course. And to access that, you'll just click Troubleshoot Login in the bottom left corner. And then, like Alex mentioned, you will go through and identify the student who's having trouble and the app. So to start, we're going to, let's say a student named Jody is having trouble with ReadWorks. So I typed in Jody's name and I selected the ReadWorks application. And you'll see here, there's several issues under root cause analysis. So the first is that Jody is not logged in to Clever in the last 7 days. So that might signify a bigger issue if the student isn't logging in. There's also an issue in that the student's email address is not unique. So there's more than one student at your district who have the exact same email address, which of course would cause some trouble logging in. And in addition, there's a third problem: the user is not shared with ReadWorks. So you'll see it under recommended action. It recommends that you reach out to your district tech support. And like Alex mentioned, you can click that and it will allow you to instantly email your district tech support, which is really neat. So that was one example. Let's look at another example. So we're going to look at a student named Harry, and let's check on Newsela. So again, I typed in Harry's name and I typed in the app that Harry was having trouble with. So we see here, Alex mentioned we go through a big checklist. This app or this tool does it for us. So we can see that Harry has successfully logged into Clever. He has a unique email address. The app is launched, like everything's going well. So the issue is likely related to the app itself. So in this situation, in this example, our recommendation is that you reach out to Newsela, because on our end, everything looks good. So it's likely an issue on Newsela's end. And that's it. It's a pretty simple tool, but as you can see, it does a lot of work for you that previously had to be done manually. And Alex, I will pass it back to you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Blair. It's such an easy, intuitive tool, and I know we love it. So hopefully all of you will love it, just like Carmen Wilson, who's one of our Clever champions, has loved it as well. Carmen has actually used this tool hundreds of times in his own work. And we got this wonderful quote from him that said, "The Troubleshoot Login Tool always allows you to go directly to the source." And that's been a great tool during virtual learning process, making his job easier. And that's what the goal of this tool is. And all of our tools that we bring to you here on Clever is to make everyday digital learning easier and accessible to all of you. So we do have some wonderful Help Center articles on these tools. So if you do find yourself having a question or wanting to learn more about it, just search Troubleshoot Login in our Help Center. And we have 2 great articles that will go deeply into these topics and giving you explicitly everything you might need to use it in real time. Now, before we go into Q&A, I would be very remiss if I didn't touch really quickly on logins to Clever as well. As we said, that this is something that you're going to have to tackle all the time as well. We know it happens at the beginning of the school year. So we wanted to just share a few quick tips on troubleshooting logins to Clever as a school tech lead. So first, there are generally three things that need to be true in order for a user to log into Clever. So for one, they need to be active in your district's student information system. So this is like PowerSchool, Aries, Skyward, wherever you register and students in your district for both the district as well as classes, they need to have an account there, so they have an account in Clever. Secondly, they must be active in your district's identity system. And so for all of you, an identity system is something like Google or Active Directory. It's whatever system you use to log into devices or resources at your district level. And then, of course, they have to be active in Clever. You have to have a Clever account to log in. So depending on what level of access your district has provided to you, you may or may not be able to troubleshoot all three things on your own. So for those things, you will need to probably go to your district support contact if you don't have access. But there are still a few things that you can do as a school tech lead to help ensure that students and teachers get logged in. So when especially a student login issue arises, which is the most common scenario, there are two things that I always want you to do. First, have the student's teacher generate a backup code for logging in. So this allows the student to securely bypass their username and password requirement to log into their Clever account. And then secondly, of course, contact your district's tech support. So since we don't have access to usernames and passwords, it will require the assistance of your district help desk, usually to fix the root issue, even though we're getting them logged in securely using an alternate method. So really quickly about backup codes. So backup codes are something that I wish everyone knew more about. It's kind of like one of our hidden superpowers that not enough people often utilize. But basically, backup login codes allow specifically students to log into Clever, even if their username and password is not working. So these can be generated by their teacher, and they are good for 20 minutes. So this ensures that no one's going to steal code and log into another student's account. You know, it's a one-time access, you know, no hacking. But what's really great is that you can use these as many times as necessary. So if a student needs to log in both in the morning as well as the afternoon, a teacher can continue to create a backup login code for the student so that they can engage in their digital learning all day long. It's not just one time. But again, remember that even though they're going to have to still fix this issue, you know, you're still need to make sure you resolve the username and password error. You can use this as long as necessary to ensure that a student's learning never has to be blocked by a username or password issue. So instructions for our backup codes can be found in our help center. And we're going to show you how to use it right now. Blair.
Awesome sauce. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Alrighty. So I am currently logged in as a teacher. So just to make sure we're really clear, like Alex mentioned, backup login codes are accessible via the teacher account. So if you're logged in as a school tech lead, you personally cannot generate a backup login code, but you can show a teacher how to do it. So from the teacher's screen, I'm going to navigate to the teacher page where the student's having trouble. And let's say that Alice is unable to get logged in. I'll click Alice's name and then click backup login code. So now what I would do as a teacher is share this code with Alice. So this is just for Alice. It does not work for any other student. So let's say that I shared it with Alice, and now I'm going to change hats to my student hat. So now let's pretend that I'm Alice and my teacher has given me my backup login code. From the login screen, I'm going to click Get Help Logging In, and then I'll click Login with a backup login code. Oh, okay. I think this is because I was, okay, we're good now. I was previously logged in as a school tech lead, so I think Clever was confused for a hot second, but now you'll see that I am logged in as Alice. So like Alex mentioned, this is not a permanent solution, but it's great for in the moment when you're trying to lead class or you have a teacher trying to lead class and they want to help their students access EdTech.
That is so cool. I love it. It's so easy. And remember, it's secure, it's fast, and you can use it as many times as necessary for any student. So share it out with your teachers. I think it's a hidden secret that more people need to know about. And then we also just mentioned really lightly a district tech support contact. And I just wanted to share where you can find that for your district. So when you go to your district's login page for Clever, if you are unable to, someone's unable to log in, on this page, they should see a contact. And here, in this case, Albert Einstein, love him. This will be the person that you need to reach out to if you do have a username or password issue for Clever. Now, there should always be something here. It might be a phone number, it might be an email address, it might be a URL to link to your district's help desk, but know that it is going to be there for you. So that should always be accessible, and they are ready and willing to help at the district.
Awesome. So we have one last poll. We're just curious, which feature do you feel like is going to be most helpful, not only for you, but your students, your school, and your teachers? And there's no right or wrong answer. And also I see we got our first Q&A, so please keep those coming because we are doing Q&A in just a second. Give about 3 more seconds on the poll. Awesome, and let me share that out. So it looks like a good amount of folks said both. I have to say it's a hard call for these features because I feel like they're both super useful. Awesome, thanks for sharing that out, folks.
And then, of course, we just wanted to share just a little bit that we might be a little biased, but we do love our help center. And you as a school tech lead have so many things that you're juggling with, not only Clever, I'm sure other technologies as well. So just know that our help center is a living, breathing resource for you. And you can find it at any time at support.clever.com. You'll see that there is your own dedicated sections, school or staff tech lead. Go ahead there, search for whatever problem you might have, and the documentation should be there. So go ahead and check it out.
Awesome sauce. And it wouldn't be a webinar if I did not make a plug for Clever Academy. So the first thing I want to let you know is that if you complete the end of webinar survey that I just put in chat, you will get a completion survey, or sorry, a completion certificate for attending. So we want to make sure that you get credit for the time you spent with us today. So I just shared that link in chat. It is also available in Clever Academy where you clicked to get into the webinar. In addition to that, there are so many other courses in Clever Academy. Sorry. I just want to make sure you're aware of them. So you can become a certified Clever trainer. You can even get free swag to lead for you to offer when you lead training. You can become a certified Clever champion. And this is all available at clever.academy or from your school tech lead dashboard. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that we also have a webinar on Thursday about training your teachers. So backup login codes don't work if your teachers don't know how to use them. So this webinar on Thursday is an excellent opportunity for you to learn more about how to train your teachers and really access some of the free training options that we have. And I will put that in chat in just a second. And we're going to move into Q&A. Let me quickly share this link in chat before I forget.
So Blair, I'm actually going to tackle this first one. So I have a great one here. It's a simple question. How is there a time limit for backup login codes? And yes, backup login codes are only valid for 20 minutes. So they do expire because we do want it to be a secure method of logins for students. And so if you are in a remote learning classroom where maybe you're not in the same place as a student, we do recommend just like coordinating via a method of like, hey, at this time, I'm going to send you this code via email or via Clever messaging, and just let them know so that they can use within 20 minutes. No worries, if it does expire, the teacher can always generate another one to get that student in.
Awesome. And I just put into chat the link for the webinar. It looks like 6 folks already registered, so we have some very active attendees. Oh, I see another question came up, Alex. When troubleshooting a particular teacher, I see details with the link to that teacher's profile. What is the benefit of this link?
Yeah, great question. So we just know that often when you are trying to figure out how to resolve an issue for a student, whether it be sharing permissions or logins or same for a teacher, that sometimes we need to look at the user's profile in order to see what does it look like. For example, do they have an email populated and what is the email? Is there a typo in it? So often we provide a link to a profile just so you can see, like, is their user information correct? Are they actively enrolled in their sections and as they should be? Just the link to the profile or the profile page is just a page that we ourselves as a support team, as well as anyone who's troubleshooting, often references just to ensure that everything looks as expected.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to use the lull in the Q&As just to remind folks one last time, please do complete that survey. When you hit complete on the survey, you will automatically get an email with a certificate for attending. And as former educators, we know how much PD credit can come in handy. So make sure to complete the survey, and I will put that in chat one last time just to make sure you have it handy.
Well, Blair, it seems like we must have done a fantastic job because Q&A is quiet. So it is relatively straightforward. So hopefully all of you did get the chance to go into your Clever portal and try it. If you haven't, go just play around. You don't have to have someone who's actually having an issue to go ahead and just know what's accessible to all of you. So do try it out, and do check out all the wonderful webinars and Clever Academy content that we have. Blair has been working so hard to get a lot of great content ready for all of you for BTS. So check it out, be ready, and we hope that all of you have a tremendously successful start to your school years. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.